Get your life back to normal. Lonnie with Restore It, Restoration.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Service Guys podcast. I'm your co-host, Ruel Abadam, and on the other line, we have our service professional, Lonnie Beecham. Hi, Lonnie. How's it going?
Going very well. I'm excited to talk today.
Sweet.
Yeah, I just pulled equipment it's raining like cats and dogs, and I just pulled equipment out of a mold house on a final test, and had the door dropped, and I was loading equipment in the rain, and I'm a wet, soggy mess. So, are we recording now?
Yeah, we should be recording now. That sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
We don't have a guest today.
Yeah, I hope this thing's recording. Wait, hold on. Am I recording? Damn it, this thing better be recording. Maybe it's more than...
Yep. Can you kick it on again and text it to me? I can hit it while I'm driving.
Okay, well, hopefully this is recording, because if it isn't, then we're just gonna catch up. There won't be anything.
All right, works for me. I'm driving back to my shop for a little bit.
Cool.
The day's just gone to just crap.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
That's what happens when you work in the trades business and you're a specialized trade. I got like two mold jobs going on. They're on the complete opposite sides of the town, and they're both out in the far reaches of the county. And so the one on the far east side, she texted me at like 10 o'clock last night, woke me up, said, hey, doors are getting replaced. She has walkout doors in her garages that just leak like a sieve when it rains. It's like, well, there's your mold problem right there. And I'm trying to dry it out, but every time it rains, it just keeps getting wet. So she has it slated to get replaced on Tuesday. She texted me at 10 o'clock saying, hey, the doors are getting replaced tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. I get up, get out the door at 6. Go shut down my mold job so if the guy doesn't, like, screw with my stuff or change pressure differentials in the house. So I just shut it down to nothing. And then about 10 or 11, she texted me saying, oh, with this rain, this monsoon rain that we're getting, he's not putting in a door. I'm like, yeah, well, that's a good idea. Big gaping hole in the side of your house, and it is raining. Earlier, when we were trying to set this up, I was standing in the back of my box truck waiting for my post-mold remediation air samples to be taken. I was standing in the back of my box truck. I was staying dry, but it sounded, that pitter-patter of rain on metal. That's what you would have heard. Now you're hearing me drive and talk in my box truck.
Well, wow.
Does that sound okay?
No, you sound fine. I mean, you sound like you're out and about, but I think it makes fine for the podcast. But with all of that pitter patter of metal, rain on metal, yeah, I can imagine that would have been bad, but and annoying on your end. But we're here.
Yeah, we're here. I'm getting out of one mold job, hopefully. This has been a cluster, man. It's been going on since June. It should have only been like 12 days.
This is the nightmare mold thing?
Well, so what happened? What happened to shave some budget off of their end? They decided to do some of their own mold remediation. I said, okay, that's fine, but that's on you. So if you fail, it's on you. That's not on me. I'm not doing anything in your part besides providing the equipment. And so that's what we did. So back in mid-June, 1 day before the post-test was scheduled, they dropped a 20-yard big roll-off commercial dumpster right in front of the garage door that was my fresh air intake. So that put 100,000 mold spores in their house. And then this lady says she's sick. I know she's sick. I'm not I don't know where sickness is, but I know she's sick, right?
Yeah.
So, she's freaking out because you failed, Lonnie. I'm like, well, no, you had a leaky foundation the day of the test. They wouldn't let me postpone it and redo everything because they didn't want to pay extra money. I said, all right, well, we can run the test and see what happens. And, anyway, long story short, the foundation was leaking like a sieve. We were standing in puddles of water, and then they had the dumpster in there, right there in their driveway, and all that got mixed into the house. So I failed that test, and wasn't because I did something wrong. It was because they didn't listen to me. So then I said, I'm not doing anything till you fix your foundation, so no more water's coming in. And, well, that didn't happen until August 5th or 6th, and I moved in the week after that to redo everything again out of my pocket. And this time my area came back on the post-test. It came back stellar. Couldn't get any better. But his area failed. Well, she's flipping out and mad and won't take my calls and everything because she thought I was going to re-clean her whole house. I'm like, no. That was not on me. I didn't do your upper level. That was on you. You got really close, but you failed. So
wow.
I've been running scrubbers and dehues for a week, waiting on this test to happen, and it just happened. So, I won't get the results until Wednesday with the holiday, but hey, what do you do?
Wow. Does this top out to be the worst you've ever encountered?
No, not really. I mean, every time I deal with mold, there's always somebody sick. So I'm used to people being sick, and I don't know how much of it's real, how much of it's imagined. I know there's real sicknesses, but then I also know that people get hypersensitive and hyper worried, and one sniff of mold, and they think they're going to die. It's like, well, everybody's told her you are not going to get a 0 mold count inside your house. It's all relative to the benchmark of outside. Well, unfortunately, it's raining like cats and dogs, so the outside spores will probably be right next to 0, but here we are. Nonetheless, here we are.
Wow.
Now I got to go back out to my other job because I shut it down this morning to facilitate the doors to be replaced. And then, lo and behold, when she texts me, like, oh, with the rain, he's not going to replace the doors. I'm like, okay, I'll be out sometime later to set it all back up and turn everything back on and get all the scrubbers going. And a lot of downtime, but I got to catch up with a friend earlier.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Hadn't spoken in a while, so.
It has been a while. It seems like forever. What's the how's the other job? What's that about?
Oh, that one's a total cluster as well. Well, she's sick as well. She's been sick for like 20 some years. Her kids have been sick. They used to have asthma and all kinds of illnesses when they lived at home, but now that they're in their 20s and going to college and moving out and stuff, all their asthma and everything has disappeared. And but that one is mold in the attic, which is the worst place on earth to have mold. And where else? Main 2-car garage. Got some mold in their main living area. Got some mold upstairs in the hallway. Got mold in their basement in 4 areas. So that's kind of a clustery mess as well. But that one's manageable. They seem the only problem with that one is they live. Her parents live right next door. So they moved in. These are 50. Well, he's 67. She's 50 something, I would say. They live right next door to my job, but that's always a mixed bag of, they're like, well, nobody showed up today. It's like, I know. That's because we're letting machinery work at the moment.
there's no physical scrubbing needed or anything like that. So I know what I'm doing. I am the professional.
Yeah. So basically, between with these two jobs, it's life. It's business as usual for Lonnie.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Just this other lady here that I just left, she's a bit extreme and a bit mad because she thought I said I would clean her whole house. I was like, nope, I own my mistakes. And because I want this one to go away, I just went ahead and set extra equipment, just make it go away. I scrubbed the air, did my part, just make it go away. Just stop.
How long do you usually scrub the air for, or does it depend on the area that you're looking to clear out or treat?
It depends on the type of mold that it is, the situation with the homeowner. Like both of these they're really mold sick, so the air has to be ultra scrubbed, a lot longer. But once we HEPA vacuum everything, then wipe everything, and vacuum everything again. My only mold job that I have going right now is, I think it is 96 hours that just let the machinery scrub. Normally it's anywhere from 48 to 96 hours.
Cool.
So that's just machine running, nobody coming and going, nothing, just let machines work. Got to change out the filters, and that's it.
So is this typical for the year that the mold jobs sort of ramp up?
Well, yeah, mold is it's pretty much year round. I'm getting a lot of mold calls right now since we had that tornado May 22nd. People are, getting back in their homes or, getting roofs put back on. Some of these things, like they should have just kept the insurance money and saved the roof and just bulldozed it because, that was May and here we are August 31 or whatever we are, 3 months, 4 months later, they're just getting roofs on. Then they want me to come in and dry it out and do mold remediation, and it's like, well, we can, but that's expensive at this point when it's been open sky for 4 months or whatever. But wow. May, June, July, August, so 3 months. I mean, they're growing mushrooms and it's funky.
A village of Smurfs.
Right.
Wow.
And then I looked at a place of business yesterday down at the Lake of the Ozarks, and they want to try to maintain continuity of business, but the whole place is moldy and all but like 3 rooms. And I told the guy, he's like, well, while we're ripping out carpet, let's rip this out and that out and this out. And I'm like, we can do that, but you don't understand. And guys like us come in, first thing we do is shut down the thermostat or the furnace system, just zero air in or out. But whatever the season is, I have to compensate. I can't bring in portable AC units. So it's either going to be sweltering hot. I'll have to bring in dehumidifiers to keep the humidity levels between 30 to 50%. But you're not going to be able to function. Oh yeah, we can do it. I said, no, machinery and guys and hammering and cutting and pounding and guys running in and out and ripping carpet up. The desks have to go somewhere. I can't rip carpet out of an office that's glued down carpet when there's a desk sitting on it, and filing cabinets and bookcases and desks and chairs and people. And so you're going to have to relocate
to the sidewalk
somewhere
with a sign that says lemonade for sale.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that one, I think I'm going to call the guy. It's 60 miles south of me. I think I'm going to call him here in a little bit and just tell him I'm not interested in that. You get 9 office people, working, and there's always that one busybody that stirs up the whole hornet's nest. And there was the one that's been feeling sick, and they actually have a huge issue. Like, I've never seen a Stachybotrys count as high as theirs ever. Prior to theirs, The highest I'd seen was 1,100 spores. This one had 1,600. And to put that in perspective, 100 spores is off the charts high for this type of mold spore.
So you're sort of you're measuring the spore count for a given, I guess,
volume of air.
Volume
cubic
of air. Okay.
footage. Yeah, cubic footage of air.
A cubic foot. Wow.
So, yeah,
wow.
with it being one hour just to get to work, and then the time there, and then 1 hour back, and then you mix in all the personalities of people complaining about not being able to hear on the phone, and got to relocate computers, and you know what that's like with the server. I mean, you don't just yank a server out of the wall and go plug it in somewhere else. I mean, that's up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah. Relocate,
and then it's a place of advertisement. So as soon as I walked in, they were trying to sell me print advertisement in a newspaper. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, not so much. When I even said, well, yeah, I'm not really in the market. Well, do you do much work at the lake? I said, no, not really. It's not really my market. Well, you would get a lot more work if you advertised here. And I said, no, it's really not my market. I drive 60 miles when I can drive 5, and make make more money locally.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really want to go an hour one way to work. I have and I will, but I don't seek it out.
Huh. Is that? Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on the office or the building. I mean, it's not for that area. There isn't this tendency for a higher mold count or mold issue or mold cases, or is it?
Say that again?
Like you say, Lake of the Ozarks, is that because they're close to a lake?
Yeah. It's our biggest resort lake in Missouri. We actually have more shoreline around the middle of on the lake of the Ozarks than all of Florida. It's just a big lake. Well, it's so big that they have, those Budweiser race boat. What do they call those? I forgot what kind of boat. Anyway, racing boats. They just had this past weekend what they call the shootout. And
cool.
They had all these boats out there, those hydroplane boats, race boats, and they're out there racing. So it's that big of a lake. It's not just a little fishing hole. It's big. It's actually huge. But we have a party cove down there, so that I've been once, and that was eye-opening.
Spring break with Lonnie.
Well, it was. I was when I did investment stuff, my boss, if we hit some benchmarks, he took us out on his small yacht. I mean, it's a yacht, but it's small, but it's still like a bit more expensive than my house. Anyway, you almost have to have a big boat like that, or you're just going to get beat to death and rocked and flipped. If you're on a little bass boat, think you're going to go fishing down the main channel. Yeah, you go out to Party Cove, and I don't know how the stuff that happens out there, I don't know how it's legal. I'll just say that. There is debauchery of every variety out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody head there.
Clothing optional. I mean, you name it. It's crazy out there.
I can only imagine.
Alcohol and sun
and bodies floating in the
Right. Yeah. It was eye-opening. I'll just tell you that.
Sounds like the perfect location for reality TV.
Well, there's some good videos that come out of that area.
I'm gonna have to spend some time on Google to find some.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. Years and years and years ago, back in the dial-up days, somebody sent me an email. I was like, oh, cool, I got an email. And it has this thing called an attachment. We're like, what is that? Remember the beep? It took forever, like 45 minutes to download one picture.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, so this friend of mine, local friend, sent me a picture of one of our pillars of our community, let's say.
Okay.
Doing something with somebody that had photographic evidence of that was not his wife. It's like, I never said squat. They got divorced later on, but I can only imagine why they got divorced. And this would have been early 2000s, maybe late 90s. I don't know when the dial-up was the thing, but anyway, that's what goes on down there.
The prerequisite to divorce is what goes on down there.
Yes. Pretty much.
When you're hiring someone to clean your carpets, you're probably assuming that they're using better equipment and better cleaning solutions than you would. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. Their equipment should heat the water to 200 degrees to ensure that your carpets are not only clean, but disinfected. Next time you hire someone to clean your carpet or tile, ask them how hot their water gets. If they don't know or it's less than 200 degrees, send them back and call me, Lonnie Beecham, with Restore It Restoration. I'll get your carpets done right and your life back to normal.
So, I've rambled on and bored you to tears.
Yes. How's Mama?
Mom is doing okay. She's very, very weak. It's crazy how weak she is still after. I mean, she got released August 5th from the Siteman Cancer Center in St. Louis, but she is still extremely weak.
Okay.
But
yeah,
doing okay. I mean,
okay.
You know, all things considered.
Yeah. I mean, being going through all the treatment for that amount of time, I can only imagine it's gonna take a slow road to get it all back.
Yeah, they say 12 months, and I can't remember what the last date of her actual chemo. She had 12 rounds. No, sorry. 14 rounds, 12 or 14 rounds of chemo in a week. And then they kept her another week or two after that. But since she's been home, well, even when she was there, she's been feeling her spot, what she calls her spot.
Yeah.
That's where her big mass was. And she's feeling it again. And then she's broke back out in hives 2 days ago. So, I don't know what's going on with that. Next doctor's appointment's September 16th. I don't know when the next PET scan is.
Okay.
But, so yeah, I mean, it's evolving slowly, one way or the other. I don't know which way.
Yeah. I mean, her immune system is still pretty shot and needs to
pretty weak.
come back.
Yeah.
Okay. But she's back at her
apartment. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in her apartment.
Okay.
Now she's ready to go buy a new love seat, and looking at buying a car and a new phone.
Good for her.
Yeah. So, what's new in your world?
Well, post summer, post Daddy Day camp, just trying to get back into the swing of things. Able to get back into the office a handful of days. I do have to spend part of the week working from home because the kids don't have anywhere to go. Only because, that's just, they're not set up that way due to the high price of childcare. But I'll take what I can get to get back into the office and feel a little normal, I guess. It's just trying to get back into the flow of things. I hurt my back yesterday.
Uh-oh. What,
yeah.
Fixing your own water leak?
No, but as I was waiting for the service, because there's the tech, the GE guy comes over. He needs to see what's going on with the appliances. As I was waiting for them, I was doing a little cleanup because the house was a mess. We're getting ready to do a little bit of camping for this weekend, and we have this new 6-person tent, and it's like 9 by 17,
Oh.
And we had it just occupying a whole bunch of, practically the whole front living room area, and it could hardly even fit. So I took that down, and I sort of started the process of just straightening things out so that when folks came, it wouldn't be like one of those this Halloween what do you call it, a haunted house sort of situations where it's just a maze to get through. And so I was vacuuming, and then there was a little rubber band on the ground. I'm like, that's probably from all of the material that came in the box for the tent. I better pick up that rubber band and not vacuum it. I bent over to pick it up, and my back went all wonky, and my legs got weak, and I kind of forced myself straight up. I'm like, uh-oh. My back started to tighten up, and that was the beginning.
Getting old, Rue.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it. You know, the day before, I went on a little midday run around the office, and, you know, I'm just trying to get back into things, and I think that pounded my body enough to make me vulnerable to the injury. But it is what it is. Yeah. So we had the appliance guy come by yesterday because I have a couple of appliances wonky.
You didn't fix your own inlet valve thing on your dishwasher?
No, I didn't. I mean, I realized like maybe I could have had I have found the part, the inlet sump. But no, I just having somebody look at it, and they're going to take care of it. So the first
but
appliance,
you're going to be manually and do your own.
I could have, man. I could have. But
YouTube and Google goes a long ways.
Yeah. So we have a microwave that's got issues. So have the guy go through that. I thought I could do it, but there's only so much.
What was wrong with it?
It's the display board. If that ends up not fixing it, then maybe it's a control board. But those are close to a couple $100 each board, and I can replace the board easy.
On that, you could also just replace the whole freaking microwave for the same money.
Well, this microwave's that GE fancy schmancy stainless steel, you know, in the cabinet, sort of over the range sort of deal. And, you know, the service guy's like, yeah, those are really expensive to replace. So, you know, getting the repair is also going to be pricey. But go to Appliance. I can send you a link. You can do your own stuff. It's pretty easy. Yeah, I'm sure I could figure it out. But it'll take me a good chunk of my day to actually get down and dirty with it, and I just got too much going on. So it's one of those things where it's like, do I burn my time, or do I just have the professional do it? And you know. Yeah, repairclinic.com. That's what you need. So the microwave was the initial service call, and then the day before, I discovered the problem with the dishwasher. Pulled that thing out of the under the cabinet and found the leak, and had to deal with all of the moisture and water that's been sitting in there. I don't know how long. And I'm a little concerned about the water, but whatever, you know.
All right.
Whatever.
Did you go rent one of those air movers?
I haven't, and it's gonna be a week until the actual repair is done, because the part's been ordered. We've got the long weekend coming up, so I'm hoping sometime after the holiday, the part comes in. It's gonna be shipped to us, and you know, on Thursday afternoon is the service call. So hopefully the part comes in before the service guy comes in. He goes in. And
it should.
Pops it in.
All you're going to need, Ruel, is, I think, 4 quarter-inch net driver. Just pop it off, plug and play, and fix your own dishwasher. Yeah.
Well, we went with there's definitely a problem with the inlet sump, that part. Whether or not there's other stuff, we don't know. So we're gonna let them do that repair, and then hopefully that'll be it. But yeah, it's there's a little bit there's moisture sitting at the bottom part of the cabinets that surround it.
Right.
And so I don't know, how long that'll take to dry out. You
don't have a moisture meter.
I don't have a moisture meter, and one of those things. You rent them for like 4 hours. They're like $75.
For 4 hours for an air mover?
No. What do you those little handheld meters like you and the rest of the pros use? Yeah. I think they're like. Well, I looked them up.
If you're real concerned, that would be like a service call to a pro.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't leave to a do-it-yourself, because you got to know how to interpret what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm not.
But a lot of times with a dishwasher leak like that, the base cabinets around it will need to come out to get air and to dry out the floor, subfloor and drywall and that sort of thing. That's pretty common. But to pull out the base cabinets, then you got to pull the countertop off, and if you have solid stone, like I think you do, then that takes it depends on how big it is, where the breaks are in the seams. You might need pro. You really might. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. When I pulled the thing out, I kept on thinking, okay, what would Lonnie do?
No, I do it myself, but
yeah. What would Lonnie be concerned about? That kind of stuff. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna need to dry all this moisture out. I'm gonna, do I need to treat it with hydrogen peroxide and see what happens and all that stuff?
Well, you can test it and see what you got. Get that cheap stuff, hydrogen peroxide, the 97-cent stuff at Walmart.
Yeah.
Pour that under there and see if it bubbles up. If it bubbles up, then you got mold.
So if I pour if I poured stuff there, then doesn't that contribute to the moisture that'll be a problem, or does that sort of dry itself out?
Well, yeah. I mean, you need to. Well, I mean, hydrogen peroxide is distilled water. I don't know how you make. That would be interesting. I need to geek out on that. Figure out how to make hydrogen peroxide, but it breaks down to water and pure oxygen. So, that 97-cent stuff, that's only 3% hydrogen peroxide. So it's 97% water already. It's way diluted down.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned.
And you can't get my stuff.
Yeah, yours is like the Lonnie special.
You gotta have a license, and you gotta be on a national database and stuff like that. I can't even send one of the guys to go get this from the store because they're not on the list. Only me.
So yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, and the other thing that's going on is maybe a week or two ago, had an intruder enter or accidentally left unlocked vehicle in the driveway, and
oh no.
Yeah, and fortunately the vehicle remained. Things like garage door openers and bridge toll transmitter, whatever things,
transponder thingy.
Yeah, those things. That thing remained, and there wasn't really much anything to take in the vehicle other than my folding knife and a little credit card multi-tool thing that I had in the glove.
So it was a kid then, so they just rifled through an unlocked door and.
Yeah. So what that's done though is it's caused us to put up cameras and floodlights and all that good stuff. So I had
fun.
Or
just lock your door.
Or just lock my door. Yeah, we lock. We do. We're a bit more vigilant now, but that process of setting up the floodlight cam front of the driveway above the garage. I didn't have the right tools, so I was basically trying to bore a hole through, I guess what you call sheetrock.
Not on the outside.
No, it whatever the exterior is on the home. It looked like I'd just be able to just take a drill through it, but then there's this really hard stuff in there, and I needed like a concrete bit and the right size concrete bit to get through it. Then
and
I had to get
drill.
Well, I didn't have. I didn't need the hammer drill.
I don't even have a hammer drill. I have to borrow a friend of mine.
But it's one of those things where it's like there's the exterior layer, and then there's a small gap of nothing, and then you get through another layer of something on the interior to and and here's the other thing. Not only did I not start off with the right size bit, but I don't have a ladder still, and I had to back up the truck and stand on the bumper to get enough height, because I'm as short as shit, and yeah. So after a while I got through, and
Did you call the senator and have him send you a camera?
No. But we picked up the cameras off of Amazon and got that stuff set up, and that was the first.
Are they hardwired?
I avoided the hardwire part by wiring it through a 3-prong plug, and then routing that to the outlet that's right beside the garage door opener, where there's an outlet right next to it, and I fed it through. I got the power through that.
So you had to bore a hole all the way through to run that plug in?
To get the wiring, through, and I had installed the round box on the exterior.
The round box?
Yeah, the
junction box?
The junction box, yeah. So it's just, yeah.
So what do you have for exterior? Probably stucco, right?
Real
bumpy,
stucco.
real rough.
Real bumpy, real rough, yeah.
Yeah. So did you silicone that hole shut?
I did on both ends. I didn't think about it until we had the cable guy a month or so back. He was fixing stuff and pulling old hardware and wiring that their company owned, but we definitely weren't using. And he's like, I'm just gonna fill it with silicone. I'm like, okay. So I did the same thing with this. I sealed it shut. I don't even.
Good.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny, Ruel.
You like that? Jeez Louise, man. So now
you're trying to drill through stucco without a hammer drill, without the masonry bit.
Yeah.
Who knows what you got into behind that? Who knows?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the perfect spot for this round box, right? The junction box. And there's no way for me to cheat and go sideways. I have to go right through the wall. I mean, security-wise, why do you want to expose the power source for your camera anyways? Because some idiot can just clip it, and then you're out of a camera. Just because that.
Yeah, and the odds of that is pretty slim. If it looks like if it's something that they can get to, they're not going to cut a live wire. But if it's plugged in outside, they could unplug it.
Yeah. So I started the process of drilling, and then I'm like, oh my God, what's behind this thing? And right behind it, in the proximity, is the garage door equipment. That whole track.
Yes.
So it goes from the garage door opener, the whole unit, and then it has this track that goes above the garage door, the garage, right? The whole spot. I'm thinking, damn it, do I have this wood beam there that I'm gonna have to contend with? And somehow I made it work. Whether or not I had to tamper with any of that bracing, I don't know, but everything is intact.
So I'm assuming you've tested it out, and so you can get a visual probably remotely, right?
Yeah, so it's crazy because every day it's like I'm getting these alerts like there's activity in the front.
And it's the mailman and
the mailman and
the meter guy and
and the garbage trucks and even the traffic that kind of rolls around the street. I'm like, great, but it works and I can control the sensitivity, but I don't mind it. I don't mind all of that. We had we had some the gardeners finally able to see what the gardeners look like and what they're rolling with, because I had a complaint about some damaged backyard furniture, which I'm pretty sure happened because turns out the guy that operates the lawnmower is a kid, like a young teenager. He looks barely strong enough to operate the equipment, and I'm thinking, this kid inexperienced, and he nicked the wheel on the backyard furniture, and it ripped the wheel off of the leg, and
oh wow,
and rips right through the rubber of the wheel, and then damaged the wood. I'll show you pictures. I'm thinking, so I was trying to complain about it and try and get someone to admit to it so that we can trying to rectify the situation. Like give us the $130 it takes to just get a replacement, right?
Right.
But no one fessed up to it. I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna have to take that as a loss. Meanwhile, the folks that run that gardening operation have been let go, so there's gonna be a new team of gardeners that'll take care of stuff. So to me, that
look at you all fancy with gardeners and stuff.
I know, but isn't that pathetic? I'd love to mow my own shit if I had a
mower.
Yeah, if I had a mower, yeah, I can get one, but it's one of those things. I'd love to get my kids to do it.
Yeah, teach them how to make a buck.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Don't you have an appointment to get to today? I
do. I gotta leave soon. So it was good catching up.
Yeah, hopefully this is recorded.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, and then we'll get the post summer episodes rolling as much as possible. Need to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, still need to get Jackie and Tosh on the horn.
Yeah, she messaged me that she caught that episode where we talked about getting Jackie her on, and she's like, definitely I'll message Lonnie like he predicted I'd do.
Yeah, we need to do that, but it's with them being with you and her both being 2 hours behind, it's kind of hard. And I don't know her lunch hour. I don't know if she gets a lunch hour being 911 person.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I need to call Jackie. She sent me a nice birthday surprise gift. I got some salsa, 2 big bottles of hot sauce, 4 sample bottles of some other hot sauce stuff, 3 pairs from her own orchard, a Washington State T-shirt, a nice birthday card from my mother, and a Washington State sticker, and I think something else. I can't think. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's all.
Well, happy belated. I guess I missed an important date in history.
Well, my mother turned 63 August 23rd. I turned 44 on September 8th. So no, you haven't missed it.
Okay, it's coming up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and a jar of Jackie salsa. That's what I forgot. Her own homemade salsa. It is good. Well,
right on, Jackie, and happy belated birthday, Mama.
Yeah. Hey, you texted me that day.
Yeah. Very cool.
With that, I'd like to say this is Lonnie Beecham with Restore It Restoration, and I'd like to let you know to get your life back to normal. With that, thank you very much.
The get your life back to normal. Lonnie with Restore It, Restore It, Restore It, Restoration.
This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production.